we're talking about my work in environmental philosophy and the role that Nietzsche has played in my own thinking. And as I said earlier, Nietzsche is not a philosopher that I've studied very seriously, but I have read some and thought a good bit about the things that he said. And the thing that keeps coming back to me and that informs my own work is this really great line from one of Nietzsche's texts in which he says, "Be true, remain true to the earth," or it's something like, "Remain faithful to the earth." And I take that as a criticism of a good bit of the history of philosophy, particularly Plato's thinking, in which Plato argues that there's two worlds: the world of the here and now, the world of the flesh and blood, and then there's the world beyond this, the eternal world, where eternal realities reside. And Plato finds meaning and value and truth to be in that second world, to be in the world beyond. And Nietzsche, I think quite properly, tells us that we should focus on this world, on the world in which we live and breathe and eat, the world in which our bodies reside, the world where there's suffering and pain, and the worlds where there's joy. And for me, ultimately, the purpose of philosophy is to try to learn or discover a little bit more about what we call the meaning of life. And many philosophers have argued that when we look for the meaning of life, we need to look beyond this world, what transcends the world of bodily pain and suffering and flesh and human relationships. And for me, the meaning of life needs to be found in the living life that we all share in our organic bodies and in our relationship to the earth. And when Nietzsche says remain truthful to the earth or remain faithful to the earth, I take that as an injunction to do just that, to be satisfied with what we have here and now, and to look for the meaning of life in the present, in the here and now, in the face-to-face relationships we have with other people. Well, I'm not an expert on Nietzsche. A lot of people associate the term nihilism with Nietzsche. And nihilism is that idea that there are no values and no ultimate meaning. The way that I read Nietzsche is that when we defer the meaning and value that we find on the earth and in this life to some other world, that robs this life and this world of its own meaning and value. And I take it that that's a position that ends in nihilism, that there is no ultimate truth, reality, goodness, value, or meaning in this world. It's always postponed to some transcendent world. And for me, Nietzsche underscores what we need to do to live in this world, to find peace, justice, and social well-being in the here and now. And for me, that is a very positive message. And for me, what Nietzsche does is unmask the idea that we need to find, as I said a moment ago, truth, justice, and goodness someplace else. If we can't find it here, I don't see how we're going to find it someplace else.